fisherman Wade Beasley came across a huge crocodile that unfortunately didn't seem in a very welcoming mood. Originally, he notices the predator laying down on the path up ahead and, curiously, decides to walk up to it.
Scares you every time. Okay, I won't go that way. I'll go this way.
Not trying to risk his safety, he attempts to go and film it from a different angle, but the predator is unfortunately not done proving its point.
It's alright, mate, I'm just going past. I'll leave you with it.
Now, thankfully understanding the message, he decides to stop recording and walk away for good. A woman was calmly paddleboarding when she suddenly noticed a rather large alligator swimming right towards her.
What are you doing? Get away from me. Get away from me. No!
With the predator refusing to leave her alone, she suddenly attempts something to defend herself.
Go away! Oh my God, I had to push him away with my paddle.
Still thankfully unharmed, she decides to keep paddling away from the area entirely. While kayaking on a river, two friends were placed in a risky rescue mission that definitely proved to be a very bad idea in the end. As the video begins, the man recording is seen trying to retrieve a lost kayak that was stranded a few feet away from a crocodile sitting on the edge of the shore. He proceeds to get closer and eventually succeeds in getting close enough to grab the kayak, but as he tries to reach out, things took a horrifying turn. The crocodile chases the men as they paddle as hard as they can in hopes of losing the quickly approaching animal. Thankfully, though, they manage to lose the crocodile's interest, and they live to kayak another day. Brave Wilderness's Coyote Peterson is no stranger to dangerous animals, but in this clip, he encountered something that was more than he bargained for. This terrifying encounter starts off with Coyote and his crew attempting to track an enormous American alligator.
See, this is how we were able to track him. All of the sawgrass is kind of matted down, and at the end, we probably have about a 10-foot alligator.
After tracking it down, Coyote talks to the camera all about the alligator until he decides that he needs to do something dangerous in order to get a closer look.
You have to respect the American alligator. He can take out my legs with a single swing.
Eventually, though, he feels unsatisfied with the footage they've gotten so far and decides to spice things up by doing the unthinkable.
Wow! Okay, you hear that hiss? He's not exactly happy to have me on his back. Okay, go ahead, you guys can get in a little bit closer.
After getting a chance to wrestle with the dinosaur, he finally decides that it's time to let it back into the wild, but not before trying one last thing.
1, 2, 3. Now, these reptiles are built like tanks. Yeah, he said, all right, I've had enough of the underwater business.
Thankfully, he evades the attack and manages to keep his hands intact as he ends the video, leaving the animal alone and everyone safe. This next clip starts off with a man recording a kid fishing in Florida during what they thought was going to be another normal day. The kid can be seen struggling to bring his catch to the land, as even a small fish can still put up a fight for such a young boy.
Dad, I'm tired.
It's alright, buddy. Keep going.
I'm tired.
You got it.
Oh,
You got it.
he's the fighter.
After struggling for a while, he eventually brings his catch near to him, but just as he was about to grab it, something grabs it first.
Might have been a bit when we were trying to catch it.
Luckily, the alligator grabs the fish instead of pursuing the little kid, leaving no one harmed. This last clip starts off with a man lying near the shore of murky waters where an 11-foot alligator stands guard. He proceeds to taunt the predator with a fish, challenging it to come closer and out of the water, seemingly unafraid of the animal. The alligator, unable to resist the urge, gets out of the water and takes the fish that the man flicked earlier. After taking the fish, and seemingly wanting more, the alligator can be seen still staring at the man, so he decides to give it a quick scare.
Now!
Thankfully, the alligator retreats back into the murky waters, and the man and his friend laugh as the encounter ends. After a huge storm flooded the streets of Vadodara, India, its residents became concerned after spotting a hungry crocodile roaming around freely, so they attempted the unthinkable. As this incredible clip starts, a man can be seen trying to catch something in the water below him while also being extra cautious. He appears to start having a hard time, but this changes unexpectedly when he pulls up something that shocked him beyond belief. He then proceeds to drag the massive crocodile away from the streets, appearing unafraid, despite being only a few feet away from the vicious animal. Unfortunately, the clip ends abruptly as the man drags the agitated predator, and what happens next remains unanswered. This first clip will make your heart beat faster than an alligator can catch its prey. At the beginning of the video, a man can be seen standing near an enormous alligator, seemingly preparing to catch it. After a while, the man proceeds to throw a towel over its head and slowly makes his way on top of the creature to get a hold of it. Getting on top and behind the giant predator, the man puts his hands on the animal's neck, prompting it to do something extremely bone-chilling. Unfortunately, the video ends there, but it is clear that the man ended up being okay in the end. This clip begins with an enormous crocodile chasing a man holding a fishing pole with a fish on its end. As the giant predator tries to get the fish, the man keeps backing off, driving the creature to land and exposing its massive size.
Oh my god!
The whole encounter lasts for approximately a minute and a half, until the animal eventually succeeds in taking the fish from the man.
Oh! He got it! He got it! He got it! Hey, I'd appreciate it back. Can I have my fish back?
Luckily for him, the crocodile only has an interest in the fish he was carrying and not him, so it proceeds to swim back into the river. Starting off with a bang, this first clip will surely make your blood run cold after two men rode too close to a fierce alligator. The video begins with the friends kayaking in a murky river when they encounter a large alligator blocking their path. Thinking that the animal was going to move aside, one man decides to paddle straight to it, despite his friend advising him not to. What happens next might shock you.
Oh, dude, don't do it. Don't.
Unfortunately, what happens next remains to be a mystery as the camera fumbles down, ending the video. What was supposed to be a relaxing day at a vacation resort turned rather intense after an uninvited guest decided to take a swim in the public pool. The video starts with the security guards trying to catch a 6-foot-long crocodile lurking in the pool's clear waters, while some tourists look on from their balcony.
Oh, he's got it around him. I get it down past his neck. He's got him.
The men successfully catch the animal, and they quickly bring it back to land in an effort to subdue it and bring it back to its natural habitat.
The pool is now open. Maybe.
The aggressive crocodile thrashes around, putting up a fight until it eventually gets tired, finally allowing the men to take control. Unfortunately, the video was cut short, but it was said that the animal was calmed down and eventually released back into the wild. A crocodile trapping quickly turned for the worse after the giant predator escaped from its cage and fought the hunters. This horror-striking encounter starts off with a group of men attempting to trap a massive crocodile in a cage.
But before we can open the trap, he's busted it. Looks like we're gonna have to try and catch him on the run.
While having success in the beginning, the situation quickly turns grim after the animal breaks out of the cage and immediately takes off running. Catching up to the crocodile, one man faces off with it and attempts to put it back into the cage, but the animal refuses to go down without a fight.
Game on. Hey. Damn it, I missed his top jaw.
Fortunately, the man and his partner successfully pinned down the giant animal, and nobody was seriously hurt. While exploring the great outdoors, a group of tourists paid the price for venturing too close to an impatient alligator. This intense clip picks up when a few tourists in a boat spot an alligator up ahead and immediately begin to record. Against their better judgment, the group ventures closer to the alligator, and they soon regret their actions, because this happens. Luckily for all on board, the alligator has no interest in staying on the boat and chooses instead to jump into the water. In Australia, a group of tourists witnessed something unthinkable when their brave tour guide attempted to hand-feed a large and hungry crocodile. Before anything, the tourists begin recording, as the man can be seen splashing his tasty piece of meat in the water to attract the crocodile's attention. With the huge predator now just a few feet away from him, the man continues to put on a show by teasing the animal when things suddenly take a horrifying turn.
Quiet, please.
With everyone there still in shock by what just happened, they proceed to observe the huge animal for a few more minutes before cutting their cameras completely. During a special episode on the show River Monsters, roles got reversed after the wild sneaks up on the humans instead of the other way around. While fishing for a monster fish, Jeremy traverses the murky waters, not expecting the terrifying surprise that lies ahead.
We are definitely not alone.
As they go deeper and deeper through the river, a crocodile sneaks up on the men, looking at Jeremy straight in his eyes.
This caiman keeps swimming up and down right in front of where I'm trying to fish. One thing I don't want to happen is for it to get tangled in the line. That wouldn't be.
The animal eventually gets too close to their boat, and Jeremy is forced to hit and scare away the predator with a paddle.
It's getting uncomfortably close and it's actually pointing in my direction.
Thankfully, the situation did not escalate, and Jeremy and his team paddle away from the crocodile as it refused to back down. This bone-chilling encounter starts off with a man recording himself kayaking towards a crocodile that appears to be asleep. Going closer and closer, he eventually ends up only a few inches away from the predator's jaws, and what happens next will send chills down your spine. Thankfully, the animal simply decides to jump into the water and not onto the man's kayak as the video comes to an end. In the Zambezi River of Zambia, a man was forced to battle it out with a vindictive crocodile to retrieve a lost item. At the start of the clip, the brave kayaker turns on his camera and starts paddling into the river, determined to find the crocodile in possession of his lost foam block.
Come on, man. Give me my foot block back. Give me my block back. Oh, he's right here.
Upon reaching the animal, the man attempts to frighten it by beating the water several times with his paddle, causing the crocodile to become irritated.
Hey, give me my block back. Yeah, I got it. I win. Where's the croc?
Moments later, the brawl ends with the man emerging victorious, and thankfully, both parties were unharmed. This adrenaline-pumping encounter starts with two men approaching a gigantic crocodile hiding in the murky waters ahead. One man can be seen holding a stick with a piranha on the other end in hopes of feeding the crocodile, but as he starts to get closer, things take a shocking turn. After the horrifying encounter, the man proceeds to bait the animal again, but luckily the predator swam away, ending the video there. While starring in a show named Running Wild with Bear Grylls, a man named Joseph Gordon-Levitt got the adventure of a lifetime after stumbling upon a huge crocodile at the wrong time. The show begins with Joseph and Bear Grylls running around the hot African canyon trying to navigate the rocky terrain as best they could.
What you got to remember is that we're out in the middle of Africa and you've got to always be on the ball. Can you smell that?
Yeah. I thought it was the dung in my backpack.
After going down a steep ledge, they continue their journey, only to find a rotting buffalo corpse near a body of murky water. However, what they discover in that water is even more terrifying.
Maybe I'm seeing things. Whoa. It's a decent-sized croc as well.
They proceed to take the buffalo from the crocodile to use for dinner later, Bear Grylls stealing the buffalo corpse while Joseph takes on crocodile duties.
If the croc comes, push him away with that fork. He's also seeing his meal go away, so he's not going to be that happy. Oh my God, look.
Thankfully, Joseph managed to keep the crocodile at bay with a stick, while Bear Grylls took the buffalo's head to scavenge what they could out of it. Two friends got extremely close to danger after they saw a crocodile laying on a golf course and decided to go near it. You won't believe what they did next. The clip begins as one man can be seen approaching the animal laying on the Puerto Vallarta golf course, while his friend records him from afar.
Holy that thing is huge. Hey, Jay.
He goes near the predator, eventually being only inches away from a good picture or from being its next meal. After taking a couple of pictures of the crocodile, he decides that he has had enough, but decides to get a feel of the animal before leaving. Luckily, the crocodile remained calm throughout the encounter, despite being only a few inches away from the dangerously curious man. On the Black River of Jamaica, a group of tourists witnessed the unthinkable when their brave tour guide attempted to hand-feed a hungry crocodile. At first, many hours go by of driving around the wonderful Jamaican waters without anything crazy happening. Eventually, though, things quickly become more interesting when they spot the head of a crocodile poking out of the water and decide to lure it closer.
Go, go, go. No man on balance about here now. Please, me a beg on.
With the huge predator just a few feet away from the boat, the tour guide continues to put on a show by throwing some more food in the water. They spend the next few minutes admiring the sheer size of the crocodile, but eventually feel like they've seen enough and decide to drive away for good. While on an underwater adventure, two divers came face to face with a monstrous crocodile, and they nearly did not live to tell the tale. In the beginning of the video, a BBC Earth film crew on a boat spots a giant crocodile nearby, but it disappears into the water.
I've just seen a really good-sized crocodile slide into the water.
Almost immediately, two divers start gearing up, and soon after they jump into the river in pursuit of the animal. On reaching the river bed, the two men spot the giant crocodile and bravely begin to record it in close range.
This animal is standing up, menacing, threatening, alert. I'm really not that comfortable being so close to him.
For a time, all appears to be well, and after a few moments, the crocodile rises and swims to the surface. Suddenly, things take an unexpected turn when the beast returns to the riverbed and does this.
It's coming after us. It's following us along the bottom.
Luckily for the two divers, they are able to make it back to their boat before the crocodile catches up to them. During a trip to Madidi National Park in Bolivia, a man named Daniel got the experience of his life when he witnessed something he could not believe. This video starts with everything seeming normal as Daniel records his tour guide feeding fish to an exotic bird in the shallow river. However, the tour guide eventually has another idea.
Fidel. Fidel. Fidel.
After several seconds of calling, something eventually moves in the murky waters, and what comes out will surely terrify you. Miraculously, the tour guide proceeds to feed the hungry crocodile the fish, and he even does this. Thankfully, the predator did not go for the man's hands, or this encounter could have easily had a completely different outcome. In Florida, YouTuber Catch 'Em All Fishing was out with his friend on a seemingly average fishing trip that unfortunately took an extremely unexpected turn. They quickly begin recording when the man suddenly catches a fish at the end of his line that weirdly seems a little heavier than usual.
Look at the bubbles. Look at this thing. Wait a second. Oh my God, it's an alligator. It's an alligator.
Look at that death roll.
Oh my God. Dang it.
Wow.
I gotta get him off of this.
A few minutes go by of the man trying to pull his lure out of the alligator's mouth when they unfortunately notice it beginning to tangle itself in the fishing line.
Look at this thing. Whoa, I don't want to slip it.
Oh, he's hissing.
You hear that thing? No, roll.
He's rolling, he's rolling.
No.
Whoa, let me get a good one. Look at this video.
Oh my gosh. Dang.
Now desperate for a solution, they begin walking along the river in hopes that the alligator will eventually get untangled without them having to do it themselves.
Never been up close to one like this.
Just gotta wait for my friends. Maybe I can help untangle this beast. We're trying to catch an alligator. Oh, there it is.
He broke it?
Yeah, he broke it, which is a good thing.
They thankfully manage to escape that situation unharmed and simply move on with their day as it was originally planned. On Adelaide River, Northern Territory, a tour guide leading a group of tourists was nearly dismembered by a vicious crocodile. The video opens with a tourist group on board a boat enjoying their adventure and recording the animals in the distance, which include an approaching crocodile. For a few moments, all appears to be going well. However, things take a turn for the worse when this happens.
Then it's got target acquisition and nailing that target as well, and avoidance of all the other hit. Now see my arm move.
Quickly, the tour guide picks up a stick to try and frighten off the two crocodiles and prevent another attack.
Wow.
Luckily for the group, the crocodiles disappear almost immediately, leaving them to enjoy the rest of their boat ride. This terrifying encounter starts off with a group of tourists on a boat tour in Mexico filming a massive crocodile that was in their way. As the recording continues, the boat gets progressively closer to the gigantic predator, further showing its enormous and frightening size.
How do you zoom in?
Getting extremely and dangerously close to the crocodile, the tourists talk in awe of its scale until it does something unexpected. Thankfully, the crocodile does not attack the tourists, and it proceeds to swim away from the boat quickly. During a boat trip in crocodile-infested waters, a group of tourists encountered an enormous crocodile that scared them straight. At the beginning of the clip, the group encounters a large predator lying on the shores of a seemingly peaceful yet dangerous river.
Holy f***. Look how big he is. Oh, get back. Oh, f***.
As they get closer to the crocodile, the man recording urges them to stay away, yet they are too late, because the predator already has its eyes on them.
That's huge. That's huge. Dad! Oh!
Speeding off as fast as they can, the cameraman struggles to hold the camera steady after being terrified by the massive animal.
Move back. Get it back! I don't want him coming up to the boat!
Thankfully, the enormous creature does not pursue them any further, as the group is left on guard, knowing a large predator lurks under them. In Top End Safari Camp, a man tried to hand feed a hungry crocodile, and the outcome is not what you would expect. At the start of the clip, the safari visitors are on a tour boat when they spot the animal up ahead and hit the record button. Suddenly developing an interest in the beast, the man leading the tour begins to call out to it, even going as far as using hand gestures.
He likes you.
As if things couldn't get more dangerous, the tour guide even begins petting the large animal with absolutely no care in the world. The video ends as the brave man starts returning to the boat, so it is unclear what happens next. During a boating trip on Coraburi Billabong, two adventurers encountered a massive crocodile that left them fleeing for their lives. Beginning the terrifying video, the men can be seen riding near and recording an enormous crocodile that's laying near its babies, most likely trying to protect them.
Holy smokes, can you imagine if that thing jumped on the front of your boat? He would.
As the men make more noise and get closer to the predator, it begins to notice them, and suddenly does this.
Yeah.
The action that the giant crocodile takes scares the two men, and they decide that it was best to speed off away before things get out of hand. While fishing in murky Indonesian waters, a popular YouTuber got to meet an unexpected competitor, just as patient as him in its hunt for food. The clip starts with a man, known for his fishing videos, patiently waiting near the edge of a river for a fish to take his bait. After a couple of minutes pass, he eventually catches several fish, and proudly shows them to the camera. After he finishes replacing the baits, he proceeds to sit and wait again until he was unexpectedly interrupted by a terrifying visitor. Luckily, he backed away just in time to avoid any further trouble, allowing him to leave the scene and continue his video elsewhere.